What are some things that you learn how to train a call taker? What are some things you would recommend people doing? How to make it go a little more smoothly so there aren't as many bumps?
Yeah. So definitely the training. I had them both do the online versions and the in-person classes.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like a must. But what I kind of learned over the last couple of years is they need to know electrical terminology, at least a basic idea. So they sound like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
But also Sonia and I had a conversation, and I felt like it really changed the game when I was training my Aunt Shannon.
Yeah.
It was mystery shopper. And so basically I had several local companies who I knew were not like Certain Path members.
Yeah.
And then I also had several companies who I knew were. And I wouldn't say who was who. And I had her call to pretend to schedule service and just jot down notes on the differences. And she immediately was like, oh my gosh, this company, they're kind of sure they didn't really care. But this company, they sounded exactly like what you're teaching me.
Right.
And so that kind of clicked for her.
Right.
And I realized, oh, this works.
Yeah.
So then when I did it with our newest girl, Alicia, same thing. She was like immediately noticing the differences and why it was important to do it the way we do it.
Right.
That for me felt like a game changer.
That's awesome. How do you onboard? Because I mean, those classes don't happen every day, right? And sometimes someone comes in and we really want to get them up and rolling. So what's the onboarding process look like, you guys, for a CCR?
Yeah, so I created a CCR success manual. And so it has kind of everything you need to know. It has a copy of our script, the electrical terminology guide, the mystery shopper thing. And a lot of it is going to be it also has a list of all the videos that I want them to watch on the hub.
That's great.
Because those are like so important. And a lot of it is repetitive, but it really drives home why it's important.
Sure.
And I'd say the first week or so, have them do that. We usually know that they're going to be hired on probably a month or so ahead of time. Right. So I just preemptively sign people up for classes.
Yeah.
I can always cancel.
Right.
But I don't want to miss an opportunity. So like Alicia kind of was backwards. She ended up having to do dispatching for profits online first, and then telephone essentials, and then went out and did the class.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would have liked it swapped.
Sure.
But it's still important. Even as a call taker, I feel like, and this is something I stress to them too, is schedule with a purpose.
Right.
So even though you might not be a dispatcher, if you keep dispatching type of thoughts in your head and you're very intently scheduling, then it just helps everybody.
Yeah. How much more effective is it going in person to training? I mean, I'm sure, online training is great. The same trainers, right? And it is helpful. But what's the difference with the in-person training?
It's so much better. You get the hands-on experience with the trainers. Like Sonia and Missy are amazing. Yeah. And you also get to talk to the other people at your tables who are either experiencing the same problems you're having or have been there and know how to get you to the next level.
Right.
That networking, it can't be matched when it comes to training.
Yeah.
This is the best.
So the new process, you've got this manual there. When is someone allowed to kind of go on their own, start taking calls on their own? Does this depend on their personality?
It depends on the person, yeah. So like with Shannon, she was hired, and then I ended up going to Expo about a month later. So we had to kind of fast track it a little bit.
Sure.
I didn't have her full time like on the phones when I was gone, but we did have her do a couple of test calls. Cindy and her were in the office holding it down. And then when we got back, I reviewed those calls, and it was basically, you just got to do it. That's how you learn, is you just got to practice.
Right.
Because I know if it's not booked, I can review it, see why it wasn't, and maybe we can save it. We can call one of us, probably me, I could call back and try and save it. Right. And that's the best way to learn.
Sure.